Okay, welcome to the Lobo Den Podcast. Today we have Johnny Olive Oil, comedian, Greek. He's sober now, even though his parents got him on Xanax. He was 6 years old. He smokes weed because he didn't want to do Adderall. He was on mushrooms at the park shows where you guys used to see him. He got into a car crash, became sober. Also, his kids used to jerk off at his school. We talk about all that, including acid, going to Australia, a bunch of crazy drugs, Promise Keepers who made me ski, who are very religious white men. Anyways, if you want to record a podcast, hit up James Webb's or an album recording. Please subscribe to YouTube. Tell a friend. Get me so I can monetize. Subscribe. Support on the Patreon. $3 a month. Also, we got a sponsor now. Yes, we have a sponsor. So if you want to support, you want to get some cool gear, go to LordVegas.com. They got a limited run of t-shirts, hats, hoodies, jackets, wallets, bags, independent, uncompromised, elevate your lifestyle. Go to LordVegas.com. So I know a lot of you are incel pieces of shit who can't get pussy. So go to Lord Vegas. Use the promo code Lobo Den, save 25%. So I get a kickback from that. So I can support the podcast because I pay my guests, I pay James. All this stuff, it's posting, that's not free. I don't use that. What is it? That's free Anchor bullshit with ads. I have cool ads, stuff. I have something. If you ever see me at shows with those hats, it's hyenas. I used to wear it. I get pussy. You can get some too. LordVegas.com, promo code Lobo Den, save 25% off. All right, Lobo Den. Okay, welcome to the Lobo Den Podcast. I'm your host, Giovanni Diaz. To the left is James Webb, my producer from the People of Comedy Studio, Pop Productions. What's up, James?
Not much, buddy. How are you?
Not much. And across from me is Johnny Cosmo Olive Oil Posh, right? Or what do you go by now? Is it Johnny Olive Oil?
I go by anything. I am the internet.
He is the internet. He's you're that white dude in the Matrix. Remember he was the Matrix, and what an annoying scene. I don't know if anybody remembers it. It sucked. I didn't like it. I'm drinking coffee. I don't have Brain Force from Infowars.com because it's ran out. But let me see. I'm gonna take our first sponsor we ever had today is Posh cigarettes or Posh Plush. What I just suck it?
It's pot. It's a nicotine vape.
What did I do?
You just inhale it.
No.
You snort it. That's what you do.
Oh my god!
If you want to get high,
okay.
Snort
Second
it up,
sponsor is Pfizer, right? Pfizer sponsoring the podcast now, and
Pfizer.
Yeah. They said they don't care about profits; they care about you. And and Sybaris, our third sponsor, is the Sybaris in Northbrook. Pull up the Sybaris, please. I don't know if you ever been to a Sybaris. I saw a girl post on Facebook today. She wants to go to the Sybaris and make a group. I think it's with is it with a wire? Do you know the Sybaris? It's a suite. I don't know how you say it. With pools and herpes in the pool.
It's a fuck motel.
It's a fuck motel. Look, it has a pool inside. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool, but is it tainted with the name? Oh, look at the sign. That is not a good looking sign. That looks a little bit tacky, but the inside looks cool.
Looks like a prostitution ring right there.
Yeah, that's the Sybaris. It's indoor pool suites. That's what it is. It looks cool. Am I wrong? Like I remember I used to make fun of it as a kid. Okay, the palm trees on the inside. It's a little
just
bit
because
tacky.
it's a picture doesn't mean it looks nice, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, that happened to us with what's that website?
Which one?
It's like an Uber for hotels. Ubertel.
Airbnb,
right? I don't know.
Yeah.
You traveled a lot, right?
Yeah, I've traveled.
Were you in Colorado? Where were you?
I was in...
Where you been? What have you been up to? I haven't seen you since we at the park, right? The park shows.
Yeah, on the open mic. I gotta plug that. I've been around. You know, I was in...
Sound like a whore.
Yeah, I've been a whore lately.
Are you horror shaming? Is that what you're trying? No, I don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So you've been around.
No,
right?
yeah, I've been around. I was in Colorado for maybe 4 or 5 months. I during the pandemic, I kind of went crazy, and I was like,
was a pandemic recently?
There was a pandemic. No, I went there as a ticket scanner. And
what's that?
It's I was a ticket scanner for a ski resort.
Okay.
And so I would go and scan tickets and basically watch people have fun all day. That's basically what I did. But the cool part was I was skiing for maybe 2 days out of the week, so it was pretty fun.
That's not bad.
I would just smoke a bunch of weed and just scan tickets, and I was horrible at that job. It's a pretty
how.
I don't I would just get.
Well, you just scanned the ticket, right?
Yeah, but I would just some days I would just be too stoned to scan, and so when it didn't work, I was just fuck it, just go up,
You were talking about skiing. My first experience skiing. Was this your first time skiing? You skied before that?
Yeah, no, I've been skiing since I was like maybe 8.
Oh, okay.
So like I know how to ski.
I was taken on a ski trip. I don't know where you went. It was in Wisconsin. Pull up the Promise Keepers, guys. You guys know what the Promise Keepers are?
Oath keepers?
What are the promise keepers?
No. Oath Keepers are different. They're more military style. Promise Keepers are more on the religion. They wear. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
they have a buzz cut, right? They're white dudes. They all seem white. I haven't seen any black Promise Keepers. We'll see in the images. You see any white? Okay. There's 2 black Promise Keepers. 21. Whoa.
Really helped their website out with that.
Oh, look at this diversity, dude. Look, there's a black dude. The guy on the right, second to right, looks like Indian. The guy next to him looks like he's related to Tyler Perry, and the guy with the eyebrows is a pedophile. Whoa.
They all don't. They don't look like they ski though. Like they look like they don't.
What's
know
the
how to
21? So okay, this is what the Promise Keepers are. I was in 8th grade.
What's going on here?
7 Promise. Oh.
They look like they all fuck kids. Like
Or each other.
Yeah.
Or each other.
Or each other, right? Okay, that's the Catholics fuck kids. And then we just accept it, like, oh yeah, we just joke around it. Oh, priests fucking kids. It's like it's a big fucking joke, but no, they're 21-day marriage challenge. So the Promise Keepers is a group of men. It's like a male group thing. Let me read this. Promise Keepers is one of the biggest movements of God in the history of the church. All right, man. All right. Anyways, focus on helping men live with integrity. Promise Keepers touch the lives of 7 million men. It's a Christian men group where men come together. So these are the guys who took me skiing, by the way.
What? I wouldn't trust these guys.
Look,
man.
I went to. I was in 8th grade. I didn't know it was like a field trip. Right?
No,
I didn't know what a Promise Keeper is. Our social studies teacher and the gym teacher, or the wrestling coach who had a buzz cut, short hair, and they all had this wooden cross. Right? He had this big wooden cross here, and I didn't know they were Promise Keepers until my friend told me about it afterwards. But they took me skiing in Wisconsin, in I think Bristol or something, and I had fun. Nobody touched me, I know if I fell. It was
Are you sure?
Huh? Yeah, no. The only time I got touched in Mexico once by she's my friend on Facebook, by a aunt or something like that.
Do you remember, like, was there a blurry moment? Like,
I remember
they didn't touch you.
No, I remember they didn't touch me. Look, they're men of integrity, right? But look, in all churches, in all organizations, but I feel like they're most focused on each other and men. They helped us out. They took us skiing. And then who started these Promise Keepers? But this is where I went skiing. I went to Wisconsin. I got on the Bunny Hill. Then I got on the other ones. And that was my only time skiing was the 8th grade teacher who was a Promise Keeper got a bunch of boys. Was there any women? I don't know. They got us, and look, there's a kid
No, they're
praying.
the Promise Keepers, man. Only men.
So you grew up in Naperville. Were your parents religious? What are you spiritual? Is that?
I would say I'm spiritual.
Where are your parents like?
I don't. We never really had religion. Like we weren't like really religious when I grew up. Like
no.
We only went to like a Presbyterian church, and that's like it.
That's what you see on TV, right? That's the white people on TV are Presbyterians.
Yeah, like I liked it because I went, like, they had donuts in the end of or whatever we do in church.
Did you ever hook up one of the Presbyterian chicks? Were you guys in those groups? No.
No, like I only went like 2 or 3 times. Like we would go to a Presbyterian church, and then like every for Easter, like I'm Greek, we would go to like a Greek Orthodox church.
Oh, you're Greek?
Yeah, I'm Greek.
You're my second. So I just had Alex Akanikas. Do you have a Greek last name? You don't have to put it out.
It's Kalamos.
Oh, it's Kalamos. Oh, olive oil. Is olive oil a Greek thing or is it Italians?
It's it's
Greek,
all in the
Greek,
same bread.
Greek. Oh, okay.
I would say Greek. Well, like that's kind of like why I would do with my Instagram, like Johnny Olive Oil. Like that's basically what it was for. Like
it was Amish or your Greek faith.
Yeah,
or your Greek background. So
it was my Greek background. Yeah.
So I've had a gyro. In the last 3 weeks, I've had about 7 gyros. Right? I don't know.
Euros.
Well, Alex said gyro on it, so I've been saying it that way. Is that how you say it? So I feel he's pretty fucking Greek.
That's probably the way to say. I'm very Americanized Greek, so I'll probably am like saying it wrong.
Is there a word for to Americanize Mexicans like me? I was born here and I'm Americanized, and we're known as Chicanos, right? I don't know if they still use that word anymore. Is there a version of Greek where it's like La Chicano or
nah,
is there Greek?
Are just Americans
or Greek X or something like that? Oh no,
I don't think so. I mean, like I don't know. Like I'm very like an American Greek. Like I'm not like there's like some of my family members.
Have you had a gyro?
I've had a gyro.
Gyro.
Yeah, a gyro.
Okay, you call it a gyro, right? Okay.
But like as long as you don't say gyro, like
I used to say gyro.
Can I get myself a gyro?
Yeah. When did you start smoking weed?
Oh, well,
you smoke weed, right?
I still, I'm clean now, but like when I was doing it,
just nicotine right now. Is that what you're doing?
Nicotine, no booze, no other drugs, unfortunately. But yeah, no, I started smoking weed when I was like 12.
I have vodka here, by the way. With an X on it. It's a water bottle with an X on it.
That's
Ketel One, though. It's Ketel One. It doesn't look like Ketel One. It looks like Nestle water, but I have it in here. Should I put some vodka on my coffee?
Go ahead.
James?
Do it.
Should I do it?
I'm not going to encourage anything.
All right. I'm just going to take a little shot of vodka.
Neutral.
You're good, man.
You can continue your story.
I'm probably just going to pretend that like...
It's going to bother you?
Nah.
You're not going to relapse, right?
It doesn't bother me.
All right.
Like,
I'm not teasing you or anything. I'm not like, you like this. This is how homeless people drink, right?
Yeah. I mean...
I made this out of a French press. All right?
Nah, people around, like, I don't, like, that doesn't bother me. Like, I feel like I think it's like funny when like I tell people I'm like sober now. They're like when they drink, they're like, oh yeah, I don't even like drink that much. I'm like, dude, it's cool. You can get lit. You can, like, I don't give a fuck, man. Like, as long as I'm not drinking, I'm cool.
But what I noticed is when I was sober for a year, 2019, after July, that whole year I was sober, and a little bit after that I was sober with booze. I was sober for drugs for 90 days. But like what I noticed was if you don't tell people, I just fake it. So I'd be out at a bar and you order a club soda and you never tell them, nobody knows, nobody bothers you, and they think you're drinking. And the next day my friend's like, you weren't drinking. And I was like, no. And they're like, are you kidding me? I was like, no, just going on with it. But if you tell them I'm not drinking, at least with my friends, it's like, come on, one shot. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm learning fast. Like I'm not telling anybody anymore. Like it's like some people.
It's like a challenge, to them. Like I'm gonna fucking. I'm going to ruin your life like I'm ruining mine. You know what I mean? Stop trying to better yourself, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, like
how dare you?
People like are just like
they get offended.
Some people are like super like a lot of like majority of my friends are like super supportive, but like the little majority is like, oh man, like you're not drinking, like I can't even hang out with you. I'm like, I can't get food, like like no, but it's like funny that way how people like freak out like about.
Well, because you're a giant mirror, right?
Yeah.
So when you're not drinking, you're a big mirror, and they just see themselves drinking. And I was like, hey, it's cool when we're both doing it, but now I'm masking my problems with alcohol, and I'm just looking at it. It's like, and they see you being like better, like that's. What do they say? There's after Young Dolph. I don't know if you knew Young Dolph the rapper.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Adolf. His name was Adolf.
Adolf.
Yeah, we just passed by. That's some balls. You know what I mean? You're just I'm gonna name my son Adolf. You know what I mean? Like
Young Adolf.
You just, man, dude. Like I don't think. I mean, he was black. White people can't name their son Adolf.
Oh no, like you'll get shot.
No, like that's. But anyways, like the booze. I forgot what I was talking about. I think I'm drunk. You want a shot? No. So how'd you start smoking weed? That's where we're going.
Oh man, I'm
like fucking stoner. Oh no, you're sober. Sorry.
Well, nah, it's all right. It's like with my look, I still look like I smoke like a shitload. But
yeah.
No, like I started.
You do look high. Yeah.
Yeah, I owe it. I've smoked enough. Like my doctor basically said, I smoked enough weed that I'm probably like THC is gonna be my body for like a year.
Oh really? Legit.
That's how much weed I've smoked. Like I mean, I think for me, like it's like I don't know. I miss weed, man. Like I really do miss smoking it. But I started when I was like 12, and I think like I don't know, like it's like when I think about like my since I've been like clean, like my relationship with like drugs, like it was like I would smoke weed because like I wouldn't want to take like other meds, like because I would like take like Adderall and stuff like that, and like for some reason like I like not for everybody, but when I smoked weed, I was like more focused on like shit I was doing than like the Adderall. So like I would just like smoke a bunch of weed, so then I wouldn't like take my Adderall. Like it's like a weird.
No, I mean I had a friend who maybe looked exactly like me. His name is Giovanni, and he would do cocaine for the same reason. My friend, right, not me. So he would like for real, he would do cocaine. Like he's still struggling. We're thinking it's like, should I go to a doctor? And he's thinking about going to just see what they would prescribe him and just try it out. But he's tried Adderall with friends, and he hates how it makes him feel.
Do you know what's funny? I don't mean to interrupt, but like that's what I like when I was like back in like my like Adderall binging days. I would snort coke because in my mind I would be like, oh, like
it's like 40 minutes, dude.
It's like the same with Adderall.
Same.
Like so, like I would fucking just do coke and be like, for some reason I'm gonna buy more of an expensive drug to stay focused. Like for some reason I have no idea.
Wait, which one was more expensive?
Coke. Like Adderall's
yeah.
fucking cheap. Like it's like legal and like you can just do it whenever like.
Oh no! My friend, well, he didn't really have to pay for it because, anyways. But look, he was like, yeah. So, but it was the same thing versus, let's say when my friend would take me, whatever. Like let's say if I've taken Adderall before and I hate it because it makes me feel. When I take Adderall, I feel like my personality is trapped in here, and it's trying to come out, and it's like, hey, I want to be cool and fun. And on the outside, I'm like, it's weird, like a robot. And so I'm like, I don't know, people can take it and be fine with it, but I don't like Adderall. You've taken Adderall, right, James? Like, how does it make you feel? You're cool with it?
It's a fucking, you turn into a zombie. Dude.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I get that. I feel weird. I hate it.
I didn't like that. And then, like, I don't know. Every time when I took Adderall, I would want to fight people. Like, you know, like I don't
make you Irish, right?
This makes me like pissed off all the time, and like want like basically like Adderall made me want to do more drugs. Like,
okay.
Because it just like fucking like made me so amped up that like I had to smoke weed.
So at 12, were you already taking Adderall, and then you tried weed?
Well, it was when I was around that age, I would still like take meds.
You didn't take Dare, right?
No, I didn't take Dare.
That's right.
No, I mean I was kind of on and off with the pills. Like I started my relationship with drugs was like started really young because
you're like Drew Barrymore. Sounds like
a little bit.
Okay,
but like no, I would like because like when I was young, like when I was like 6, like my parents like prescribed me Adderall. And so like I would take
6-year-olds. They prescribe 6-year-olds Adderall.
Yeah, they gave me a 50.
Holy shit.
They gave me a 50 milligram Adderall.
Is that a lie?
A lot. It's like for a 6-year-old kid. Yeah, that's a lot of Adderall. And so then like the problem was I started twitching, like because of the Adderall. Like I would start twitching like that and be like, like hum and shit.
Uh-huh.
And so like we went back to the doctor and they're like, okay, well we can prescribe your kid Xanax to calm down the
At
Adderall.
6 years old?
6 years old.
Is this legal? Can you do that?
Back in the day, dude.
What
Like
the
back in the
fuck?
day, and like my mom was like, fuck no.
No.
And so like, we got off the
Holy
meds,
shit.
like literally got off the meds, and like, you know, I didn't do well in school because of it.
Bro, you're withdrawing at this point, or?
Well, no, like it just like, dude, I was like, maybe like I was like twitching from like when I was 6, I was twitching, and then like by the time I was 12, I stopped twitching. Like I was like twitching for years on end after I took Adderall.
Oh, after all that Adderall.
So then I would just smoke weed because like I didn't want to take other drugs because I was like afraid of like Adderall and all that shit. So like that's why like I would like just start smoking weed, and because I don't trust prescription medication anymore because of that.
Wait, are you saying you don't trust the prescription, the drug companies? That's crazy.
I don't trust nobody.
No.
I trust my local drug dealer. That's all it is.
I mean, it's weed. You've done mushrooms, right?
Oh, I've done a lot of mushrooms.
Yeah, right. I want to do mushrooms again. I want to maybe even microdose. Like, I don't know. Do you remember your first time doing mushrooms? Like,
Oh yeah.
were you already prepared for it? You know what you were getting yourself into?
Well, here's the thing. Like every time when I would do drugs, I never prepared for it. I would just do it. And then just go out and do something. You know what I mean? Like, so like okay, with the mushrooms, this is a crazy story. Back like when I was on my mushroom binge, I remember I was at the Laugh Factory and I took like
Here in Chicago, right?
in Chicago, and I took an 1/8, and this was like at like a
3.5 grams.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a nice dose, right? Don't do that at home,
a
kids.
lot.
Don't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that. Don't do that at the Laugh Factory either. And, and so I took it, and like I was like cool, and then it hit. And then I was around a bunch of people, and I was doing it with a friend. I'm not gonna say his name. And I just like freaked out. I was just like, "There's so many people here. I don't want to be around comics." And I just like walked, like from the Laugh Factory to Bucktown, like, I just was like, had a great time after that. I was like, I do not want to be around shitty comics right now.
Oh, you were at open mic then?
No, I was at a show. Like,
it was a self-book show or something like that?
Yeah, it was like it was one of the I think it was like the Young Hustle show. Like I was at the Young Hustle show, and I was like, oh man, like I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I don't want to like ruin my comedy career, so I'm gonna walk the fuck out.
Yeah, mushrooms will do that too. Like the first time I did mushrooms, I forgot, but I was like already prepared. You know what I mean? Like Papa Rogan taught me about mushrooms. I didn't really know about it. He said, you know, I was like, mushrooms, Terrence McKenna. I was like, all right. So I went to that Arrowwood website. You know Arrowwood, right?
Yeah, I know Arrowwood.
James, you know Arrowwood,
Of
right?
course.
Yeah. It's a good resource for a bunch of information of drugs, and they test a bunch of stuff and everything, and you see what's in your area. By the way, if you think you're taking Molly, it's meth, you idiots. But maybe 10 years ago, but not anymore. So then I remember I went and I prepared, and I was like, oh, I did my like gram or something like that, just to try it. And then I did like maybe around 3 or 2.5 or something grams. And I was like, oh, and it was good. You know what I mean? Except for I went to this place with all these Mexicans at the flea market, this place called the Belvedere Mall, which is the old shitty mall in Waukegan. And I just looked, and it was like a little carnival. And I was like, and everybody just looked really ugly or poor. I don't know. It just didn't look right. And I was like, I got to get the fuck out of there. But then I realized, oh, I'm not a good person. And then, and I was like, I'm a shitty person, you know, because at the time I was with this girl. I never cheated on her according to my rules. I never cheated on her.
So you cheated on her?
No. Well, I never cheated on her with a real person. Not a real person. Somebody who wasn't in the industry. So a hooker or a stripper. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I was like, this isn't cheating. They're at work, right? You know, rationalizing or something like that. She's like, ever cheated? No. But she never asked me. So in my head, I'm not lying, because I'm like, she didn't ask me, have I fucked a hooker or stripper while with you? And I was like, okay. So then, it all hit me. And I was like, oh, I'm not. And for like months, I ate clean. And like that day, I was like, I only had Fiji water. I don't know. I got turned into a little bit like a hippie / mom that goes to Whole Foods or something like that wears yoga pants for like a few months. And then I came kind of back to normal, but it helped me. Like, I want to do it again. Like,
yeah, no, mushrooms are cool. Like, I mean, like, I abused the shit out of it, but like, you know, I think mushrooms kind of like, they really like show you reality. I think like how you are, how like other people are around you, but like really like, yeah, no, like I was a degenerate with mushrooms. I would take mushrooms and acid and just go on stage.
what's that one called? Which flip is that? Mushrooms and Molly is a
mushrooms. That's called candy flipping.
That's candy flipping, right?
Yeah, I would just like
Did I ever see you on mushrooms on stage? Maybe at the park or anything like that?
Yeah, I was at
because you had a show at a park. If you don't remember, so COVID happened, and you and Greg started the shows at the park, right? And then they were all fun, except for that one time that cunt was over there and then tried to tag you.
Fucking
slut.
Cunt.
No, wait, he's a cunt. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
But anyways, my bad.
I would, the first like big show we had, like there was probably like maybe 50 people, and I took a tab.
Yeah, that's a good show.
I took a tab, and I was like hosting, and I go up, and like I'm doing my hosting set, and it kicks in, and like I go back, and I'm like freaking the fuck out, and I go to Greg, and I like whisper it in his ear, I'm like, dude,
put some cheese on it.
I literally whispered to him. He's like, dude, I'm on fucking acid right now. Like, and Greg's like, oh my god, can you just be clean for one fucking show? Dude, like I was fucking like, I was just a degenerate with drugs, man. Like I would just fucking do it whenever the fuck I want. Like I think that's how you should do drugs, though. You know what I mean? Not like, I mean, you should do it in like a confined space, but like I think like as long as you don't tell people like you're
just don't tell people you're on drugs, you'll be fine.
But also like if you're not trying to do drugs, don't tell people you're not trying to do drugs either. You know. If just don't tell people what you're doing.
I didn't do good when I tried to have sex on mushrooms and acid. Oh, I never tried on mushrooms, on acid, allegedly. So then I don't know. Could you fuck on acid or maybe okay?
Dude, I can fuck with anything. Like no,
right?
No, like
only booze for me and weed together.
Like I don't know. Every time when I would
a little cocaine,
I would like try to hook. Yeah, coke.
Allegedly.
No, every time I would try to hook up with a girl, like when I'm like high as fuck, it would just end up weird.
Yeah, right.
You know, like it would just be like it would either be me being like just like too much on drugs and like just being like, you know what, I gotta get out of here, or it would be her
seeing that you're too weird. She's like, you gotta get out of here.
You gotta get out. But it would also be like her being like, yo, I can't do this, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can do this either, and like just walk the fuck out. Like,
no, yeah, like, well, the first time, me. Okay, my friend Giovanno, right? So my first
Is this like your alter ego, Giovanno?
He's somebody. He's very much like me. Almost you could say he is me. But anyway, so this dude, I remember the first time he did acid ever was with a complete stranger he met on Tinder. She comes over his house.
That's like the worst.
Yeah, it was the fucking worst. Yeah, the Lobo Den, because he helped on the podcast, was delayed a day when this one came out. It didn't come out till like a Tuesday or so because he was still coming out because he would help, I guess, in editing it. So it took like a day, right? Because I remember, like, she came over to his house. So clear. It's almost like I was there. Crazy. So then, yeah, she came over, and then I was like, or he was like, what do you want? Molly, acid, whatever. Like, what do you got? What do you want? And it was like, I have acid, because he got acid from some crazy girl that like sucked his dick once for like Newport, sort of.
All right.
It was this crazy chick he met at this bar called Clark's in Beach Park. It was this crazy white girl. His friend's dad was like, hey man, this crazy white bitch is on acid. You know what I mean?
Sounds like a crazy white
She's
woman.
ready to fuck. And I was like, or he was like, what? And eventually he hooked up with her. But like one time she like messaged him and he picked her up. And he was, oh, can I get a ride? And she got in the car. And then it's like, oh, she picked her up like from the woods on the street. One of those lonely streets. Where they have those big houses, but they have the driveways, right? And there's all these woods. It's next to a golf course. And he was like, oh, she didn't live there or anything. She was just there. And he picked her up, and because he was coming back from Mike, and he was thinking like, oh, maybe I'll get my dick sucked. And then she got in. She was all high. And he was like, this is not happening. And it's like, let's pick up my other friend. And I was just like, or he was just like, I got to get the fuck out of here. This is done. And she's like, I don't have any gas money. Here's a acid tab if you want it. He was like, all right, I'll take it. And then he had it. And when the girl came, he did acid, and then Molly, cocaine, Johnny Walker Black Label. And then it was just like, it was too much, you know. He started hearing, yeah, it was.
You can't mix.
And it was the first time ever, and he mixed them all. And it was like,
It's a horrible experience.
yeah, he had trouble getting an erection or even wanting to have sex. So I was like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like if you like, I don't know, hooking up while you're like on like heavy drugs like that is just not a good
You hear
idea.
that, kids? You hear that, kids? Don't
Yeah.
do heavy drugs like that.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, only
and
do
have
stuff.
sex.
Yeah, only do stuff from our sponsor, Pfizer. Only do Pfizer drugs. Do Viagra and the vaccine together.
Hey, get your booster and get your dick sucked.
Get your booster and get your dick sucked.
That's the only drug you can do.
And did you have any bad trips? I'm not sure. I've never had a bad trip.
Yeah. I was hesitant to tell the story because my mom's gonna listen to the podcast. But one time I took a tab and went on an airplane. We were going we were going to Australia, and it was like a 19-hour trip. And
Dingo ate the baby.
I didn't even have any weed, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a tab of acid and go with my family in this airplane. And that was a horrible.
How long is
experience.
the flight, right?
Like 19 hours.
days or 19 hours. Yeah.
So I was like tripping on acid on an airplane, like, and I was sitting right next to my dad and my mom, and I was just like freaking out. Like I'm just like what? Like I was just like, oh my god! Like I was like looking at like past memories with my dad. I'm like, oh my god! Like and like my mom was there, and I'm like, oh god, if they find out I'm on drugs, I'm like fucked, like, and I was like maybe 19 at the time. And so like I'm like literally like every 15 minutes I would like get up from the seat, go to the bathroom, like, look myself in the mirror. I'm like, you were good, you were great, you were wonderful. Like go back in the seat, and like it was just like, it just was not fun.
No.
I wouldn't do acid on an airplane like whatsoever. And
then like I didn't get the visuals really. Oh yeah, I did once. That was mushrooms. Were you on the plane? Were you getting the visual? Is it? Tell me about it, because acid I've only done a few times. Mushrooms.
Like, I mean, I don't really think it's hard. Like you got to do a lot of acid to get the visuals.
Oh, you done DMT?
No, I've never done DMT actually.
Oh, okay.
I mean, wait, no, I never done that. Like I wish I did though. That would be fun.
Yeah, it's fun if James, have you done DMT?
Nope.
No, nobody here except me allegedly. Am I the only one?
You allegedly done a DMT?
Allegedly, I did DMT in Miami. It was my character did it. I'm doing a story. I did it in Miami, and then I didn't break through. Right, like how gross it's like you break through, you go to this other side, you see some entity. Is it a gesture? I don't fucking know. But when I was in there, it was there's a video of me actually allegedly doing it. My friend recorded. He was recording me, right? And there was a point where it hit me, and I was like, "Get away! Stop! No, no, no!" And I was in the park, and there was people you start hearing, but then it all went away. It was like, it all became white, right? And then the trees and everything around became like they were all like kind of polygonal shaped. It almost like seemed all the trees and everything, and you hear the which is the auditory response you hear in like acid. It's like the vroom 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 vroom. Like
acid was. I feel like for me with acid, like just like lights became brighter. Like those lights would like I would see those lights a little bit more brighter than if I was sober.
Molly, were you a fan of Molly?
Oh yeah, dude, I was a fan of everything. I was a fan of everything. No, Molly. Yes, I've done Molly a bunch of times.
And regular Molly, right? It was enjoyable before. Did you ever get fucked with that meth Molly? Where you think it's and you're just paranoid and can't go to sleep and scared.
Yeah, like the shakes and like I've always gotten like pretty good Molly, but like there's some times where like no, that wasn't good.
Are you social? I'm not social with Molly. If I've taken it before, allegedly.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty social. Like I would just like sometimes I would just like go alone to bars and just drop do some Molly and like just talk to random people, and sometimes people were just like get the fuck away from me. But,
so allegedly the second time or one of the first times I hung out with my now baby mama, I'm sitting there, right, and I'm talking to her, and this is like the second or third time we hang out, and then she's like, "Are you okay? Is there something different? Did you do any drugs?" And I was like, "Yeah, I dropped some Molly." And she was like, "Don't do that." Like, or not, like I have a kid. He wasn't there, but like I have a son. So maybe if you're going to do drugs for the future, let me know ahead of time. Like to me, this is normal. You know what I mean? Like hang out, second time, I'm going to drop a little bit of Molly. I was like, it's normal to me. I'm just going to drop. Isn't this what we do when we hang out? Like this is not what you, but no. Like Strawberry, like she was very like anti-drug.
She wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, especially like not knowing, and it's like, just like drugs, she never really did drugs. You know what I mean? She grew up. The dad was a pastor, and there was all these kids and brothers, so there was not really drugs. So, you know what I mean? When they met somebody who did drugs, it was like, and I was like, well, I've never done ketamine, allegedly. I've never done ketamine and heroin.
Yeah, those are the two things I've never done.
No, ketamine and heroin.
Ketamine and heroin, like that.
Crack.
Never done. Well, okay, never. Okay.
I have an okay story.
Never done heroin. Never done like ketamine, never done crack. I did Xanax once. Other than
what's
that,
Xanax like? You just get like tired, or
well,
are you like that weed commercial? Remember that weed commercial when they're like you're high on drugs and that lady's on the couch and she's melted? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like the thing was when I like did Xanax, I was really drunk. And like didn't remember anything that night. Like so I don't really remember Xanax that well.
I don't like lying, right? But I feel like I was in the kitchen the other day, and then my girlfriend, there was stepson, and she's like something about crack. Something came up with a crack, right? Maybe there's a YouTube video. It was like a joke, right? And she's like, "Don't smoke crack," but she's like, "For real, don't smoke crack." Cause she's like, "Have you ever smoked crack?" Like as a joke. She's like, "No," and then she asked me, "Have you ever smoked crack?" And then I paused, right, for a second. Because it's like I don't want to lie, but at the same time, I don't want to tell the truth. I don't want to tell a kid I smoked crack before, because I technically haven't, I think. So then we'll get to that. And so I just said no. Where it goes, it feel weird because it's like I lied. I don't like lying. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So I'm still like conflicted about it, but I don't know. But, okay, my character has never smoked crack, right? I have ideas, don't do drugs. But my character, we should give him a name. You have olive oil. No, I don't know. Anyway, so my character one time didn't hold crack, but had an Italian dude show him that if you get shitty Coke, what you do is you can put it on a paper foil, right? And then you put water on the foil, and then you get a lighter, you heat it up to separate the whatever, I don't know, the base, and then you get a glass pipe or a straw, and you heat up and you smoke the fumes, which isn't crack necessarily, but it's close to it.
That's like freebase.
Yeah,
right?
it's which is pretty close to crack. And then a character that I played did that a few times because I've said it on the podcast because he didn't want to. He was gonna when he discovered it. I was like, oh, this is cool because it only lasts like 30 minutes, and it's pretty quick. And I was like, well, or he was like, I need to go to sleep early, and I don't want to drink coffee, but I do want to get high, right? And then I was
30 minutes.
yeah, 30 minutes max. It's like, he's like, I don't want to do coke and I don't want to drink coffee, so this is perfect. If you have to go to work the next day or something, I'm not saying to do it, but that's what I liked about DMT, where it was about 7 minutes, and then within 30 minutes, everything is gone. Come down, everything is completely gone. So it felt like, I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is something you can do before work, but I haven't done it since. I tried it again. I tried it with a person. I won't say their name, but it didn't work.
Psychedelics are like weird like that because I feel like where's it going? Like I feel like I feel like DMT would be the perfect one when it's just like in and out. Like I mean I've never done it, but like when I've done acid, like it's just like
it's like a whole day, dude. I don't
the
have time
whole
for
day,
12
like
hours at least.
It's 12 hours. I gotta go to work.
12 hours. Like mushrooms, I'm like hungover, like or like not like hungover, but I'm just like groggy and annoyed and don't want to be around people.
James, I was supposed to do acid with that person.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but luckily it never happened.
Who was
I would say off the air.
Allegedly.
Off the air. That's
Your character.
Yeah, my character off the air. That's speaking of women. Are you dating? Do you want kids? Where you at? You fucking?
I'm in the single,
out there?
I'm the single life right now.
All right.
I'm trying these dating apps, but I keep
Which
getting
one?
Bumble, but I keep getting kicked out because I keep promoting my TikToks and like
Just put it on the bottom. Like mine would say the Lobo Den Podcast.
No, like every girl I would match with, I'm like, hey, follow me on TikTok, John.
You gotta break. You gotta break into it. You can't just. It's like going right for the asshole.
Business, baby. Like,
No. Let me hear it. This is business, right? It's what's that subversive marketing where you're pretending you're doing marketing? I saw it on Parks and Recs. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Where people are out somewhere and they're talking about a product, but they don't really mean it. You know what I mean? You got to be subversive. You can't just. All right. I'm gonna give you some sales tips, right? You know what I mean? Sales is you're helping other people, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you got to see it. It's like you're building a relationship. So with these girls, if you come at them, you know what I mean? Dick pic, which is your TikTok, you're like dick pic right away.
Yeah.
No, you got to slow down. Have them like you. You know what I mean? I sound like a fucking predator, but whatever. So have them like you, build that relationship, and they're like, oh man, you got to see what value are you bringing to them, which is in sales. Like what value is this TikTok bringing to you? So once you build that relationship, people want to buy stuff from people they like.
Yeah,
that's what sales is built on. So once they like you, then they'll get the TikTok. I mean, like I had girls that listen to Lobo Den, but at first I started the repertoire. Then like you, I didn't like Bumble. I deleted it because Bumble, the girl has to message you first.
Yeah,
I'm too much a machista for that. I was like, nah, this ain't for me.
And some of them are lame. They don't know how to shoot their shot. You know what I mean? They're just like kind of like too thirsty. You know what I mean?
What's going on with? That's not. I know what you mean. Like
too thirsty, man. Like
it's a turnoff.
Like I mean, here was my idea because here's the thing. Like every time. Like if I would match with a girl or something like that, they would like promote their like OnlyFans or something like that. So it's like, why can't I promote my TikTok without?
But then they're promoting it right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a full on report.
Some girl was messaging me the other day for money on Snapchat. She was like, I need an oil change, and I was just like, good for you. And then she was like, yeah, I might start an OnlyFans. Would you join? I was like, probably not. I was like, no, I don't think so. But I don't know. Bumble. What about Tinder? How's that one? Do people still use Tinder?
I'm banned. I'm actually banned on Tinder because
you sound like Uncle Luke right now.
Because I'm banned on Tinder because I was promoting out on the open mic and I got reported. So like they won't. I think that they said I was like reported for soliciting or something like. I forgot what it was, but I got banned on that.
Do you like Hispanic women?
I like Hispanic.
Have you tried Chispa?
A Chispa?
CHISPA.
What is that?
It's like a Mexican Tinder.
No.
There's a lot of hot chicks on there.
I should try it.
Have you tried Plenty of Fish? That's kind of pretty low. I don't know. It's like fucking homeless women almost who are pregnant.
I like.
You were never around for the apps, right, James?
No, dude. I've been in it for 12
You're
years.
blessed,
12 years allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
No, but plenty. Man, dude.
POF. Like I mean, like I think
You haven't given up yet, so you haven't gotten a Plenty of Fish.
I mean, I haven't given like I mean,
Plenty of Fish and Craigslist are like not that far from each other. I don't know. Remember, people still do Craigslist, or no? Is it just serial killers? And
I wouldn't do Craigslist.
does Let Go and Offer Up have women on it? I don't know. Or dating?
I don't know. I kind of gave up on the dating apps, man. Like I don't know. I enjoy this single life right now. I got too many issues to like let women come in my life.
Well, man, how'd you get sober? Did you ever rock bottom or?
Yeah, no. I hit a tree. Just casually say that. No, it was weird. Like, okay, so like this is where I started cleaning up. Like around my birthday, I went camping, like down in Southern Illinois. Like I went around like my old treatment center I went to when I was like 14. It's a long story. Like I went to a treatment center from like 14 to 18.
Okay, we'll talk about that one after.
We'll talk about this after.
Yeah.
And so, like I went down there to go. I went camping for my birthday, and I like I was, I was smoking
Solo?
yeah, I went solo. Like I was in a weird place. Like still in a weird place, but like I was in a weird dark spot. So like I decided for some reason I'm gonna go down by my treatment center in camp. And find answers, you know what I mean? And so I went down there and like for some like I like saw some like old friends and old people, and like for some reason like it's just like I had some like weird traumatic breakdown, and I like went to a bar and drank like like a lot.
What'd you drink?
Whiskey.
And is that your drink of choice?
It's my
what whiskey? I drink Scotch.
Like I like just Jameson.
Okay.
Like so like I was drinking. Like, you're like,
I've had issues with Jameson.
And so I was just like drinking a shitload, and then I had to drive back to the campsite, and so I was like I was fucking drunk, like, and so like I was like driving back, and I ended up like passing out passing out over the wheel, and I like woke up mid impact into a tree.
Oh shit!
And so I'm like getting out, like, and like a bunch of people like were coming running for my help. I'm like, oh fuck, man!
Seatbelt? You have a seatbelt? You didn't go through a windshield?
No, I didn't go through a windshield, but like a tree branch like was like right by my face.
Oh.
And so that, like I found out later if that hit my face, I would have died. But like,
Yeah.
anyway, so like I'm going out, like I'm like, fuck, man, like help me get my car out of here because I don't want the police to come. And I'm like bleeding. Like, and this one guy was just, he literally was like, all right, just sit down. Like, he like made me sit down, and the ambulance came, and I'm just like, I'm fucking shit faced. Like,
I'm good.
and so like, I'm like, they're coming, and I'm like, I'm good, man. Can you just help me get this fucking tree? Like, they're like, how much did you drink tonight? I'm like, a shitload. Like, and so they take me into the ambulance, and like I'm going, and like I don't know what's going on. Like I'm fucking drunk, and I haven't seen my face yet, and like my face was all puffed up, and they thought I needed to have surgery. So I'm ended up going to this the Carbondale Hospital. It was in Carbondale, Southern Illinois.
Woo, Salukis, right?
Salukis, baby. And so I go in there, and they're like, look, we got to take you to St. Louis now because your face is messed up.
Like helicopter?
Like
Fly
no,
for
they
life?
took I was in the ambulance.
Oh, okay.
So like they took me from Carbondale to St. Louis. And
What far of a trip is that? Like,
that's like a 2-hour trip.
oh shit!
And so like I'm like boozing up. They're like, how much booze did you drink? I'm like, a fuckload. And so like they end up giving me morphine, and like I like passed out. Like I'm like passed out in the ambulance, and like they're taking me all the way to St. Louis. And so I ended up getting there.
That's where Nelly's from, but continue. St. Lunatics.
I ended up going to St. Louis, and then they're like, oh, actually your face is fine. You had a lot of blood. And so I'm like, okay, well, how the fuck am I going to get back to Carmen? I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get back to Carmen? They're like, we'll get you an Uber. And so I'm like going in, like I'm in the Uber. I go back to the hotel. I end up just getting a hotel because I don't have a car. And so I'm like, and that, like, at that point, like, I'm like, okay, I got to call my mom, because like, I just like, I had a traumatic experience. And so then I called my mom, and like, she was just like,
you never got arrested?
No, I didn't. Luckily, I didn't get a DUI. Luckily, luckily they gave but like that was the fucking scary part. Like I was just like I woke up, I thought I would have handcuffs on me or some shit. nothing. Like I go to the hotel, I'm like, fuck, do I like call the police station to see if I have a ticket? You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what to do. Like I was just like, do I just like call the police and see if I got a DUI? And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, you know, like. So yeah, the moral of the story is don't drink.
What'd your mom? Well, you called your mom or she called?
No,
you?
I called my mom, and like you know, like I don't. She was disappointed. You know, I mean, like like when your mom says I'm not.
She
mad.
was like Jonathan.
She's like fucking. Like, and I only had a license for like 2 months. So like,
how old were you?
I'm 25.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, that's how I sobered up.
Oh, you just got your license.
Yeah, no, I because I was like living in the city. Like I was coming back from like the treatment center, and I like came right to like Chicago, like right after. I did not want to go back to Naperville.
Okay.
So, I ended up just not getting my license, and then like I got my license like maybe last May.
No, look, man, it took me a few years to have rock bottom. When I crashed my car, like I was driving home, allegedly wasted, and I just called a lady a C word like 5 times, like 20 times in a row, because we're all drinking or whatever. She's like, "Don't use that word," you know what I mean? I don't like that word, and I was like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was just being abrasive, and I was drunk, and then I remember I was driving home. And then I pulled out my phone. There used to be a website called Backpage. You guys
I remember Backpage.
Yeah, it ruined my life for a few years. So then, fucked my shit up for a few years. 'Cause when I was sober, I was like, prostitutes are disgusting. I was drunk. I was like, 224, but whatever. So then, you know what I mean? So I was on point with that. And I remember I pulled out the Backpage, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, this one is Win Waukegan. And then I just, bam, you know what I mean? But my shit, like, I don't know, probably wasn't wearing a seatbelt because my front of my head hit the windshield, and there's a big concave out. Is that I don't know. It's a big bulge in it, whatever. And I remember I end up in some apartments, and when I get home, I just remember like I end up in some apartments. Like I don't live here, and then I'll find a picture. I'll show you the picture of the car. James, did you ever see the car?
No.
Yeah, I'll find it. So then I get home, my sister opens the door, there's blood all over my face, and then I'm like, I'm going to sleep, and then like that's like a Friday, and then Sunday I try to go to fucking the open mic, but the fucking David Drake and Rena used to one who I think I forgot 3 Dead Moose or whatever.
Yeah, Will.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And I met some. I'll ask you in a second. But anyway,
allegedly, fuck that.
Yeah, allegedly,
Okay.
fuck that mic. But I was there. I was there, and I was talking to a nurse that I met on Plenty of Fish, and she's like, "You should get checked out." So then I drove to fucking Highland Park Hospital and had them look at me, and I was like, "All right, whatever." But man, I was pretty fucked up. And then, but that I didn't learn until a few years later, until the hookers, and I spent all the money, the $4,000
The
hookers. Yeah. What happened with what was I gonna ask you? Wait, how'd you end up in the treatment center at 14?
Well, like it was like. I like call it a treatment center because it was one but it was like a boarding school I wasn't a good student, you know, I really struggled in school with I would say now behavioral, but also
BD, right?
BD. No, I was I struggled with dyslexia and all that in school, and I would go from school to school basically because a lot of the school systems were trying to make me look like I was mentally retarded, you know, and so my parents weren't having that. They're like, "Oh, he's not dumb, he's just special," you know, he's not dumb, he's just creative, you know, and so I would just go from different school to school, and so right when high school hit, it was just kind of you know, I didn't want it was a mutual decision because it was I didn't want to become that kid where they fucking hog tie in the trunk and then go in the wilderness, you know. And I kind of knew I was oh, this is this is a lose-lose situation here. So I ended up just agreeing with my parents to go to a treatment center, to you know, because there was not really anything for me because I was not learning shit. I was
How was a day at school for you?
A day a day at school for me was I was just an asshole, you know what I mean? I just was I didn't when they made me want when they were you know how we had to read in class. I wouldn't want to read. I was just I wasn't gonna read, and the teacher was Johnny, you got to read, and I would be fuck you, basically I would.
Because you're embarrassed to read, right?
Yeah, I was I was very embarrassed to read, and people knew I was dyslexic, so they would it was either like it's like, oh, they're gonna laugh at me, or I'm gonna find a way to make them laugh. So like I would always like make fun of the teachers. Like,
fuck you, Miss Krabappel.
yeah, fuck you, Mrs. Richards. Oh, like no, with her, I remember there was one time when she's just like guys, I forgot what she said to me, but like I saw that there was like hickeys on her neck.
What a whore.
And it bugged me. Like,
what grade was this?
This was
like
seventh. This was like 7th grade, and so like
she's not giving a fuck. It's with 7th graders with hickeys.
And so like my teacher, like,
was she hot?
No, she was horrible.
She'd be on Plenty of Fish right now.
So like she like would pick on me. She's like, I think the reason why you want to mount in life is because you won't read or something like that. I forgot exactly what she said. I'm like, maybe maybe the reason why I don't want to read is because I can't help seeing your hickeys on your neck. And so she's like, excuse me? I'm like, maybe it's because you have hickeys on your neck and my ADHD is paying attention to that. Got sent to the office. Like I was just a fucking dick, man. Like I would like make fun of I would just make fun of kids. Well, I mean I was also like, you know, I was like the smartest kid on the short bus. You know? But like I don't like there's so many crazy fucking stories, man. Like I remember there was like one time like I would like in this like alternative math class, and you can tell that you were in the alternative math class because there was like yellow walls, you know what I mean? And so like it's like, you know, here's the thing with the suburbs, like it's like with those type of districts, like it's like if you were a dumb white kid, if you're like a dumb white kid or a kid from the inner city, you are in the same room. So like there was like this like one like there was this one incident where there was this guy, he was like jerking off in class.
Oh my!
And so like
it wasn't you though. Right?
It wasn't me. It was just this guy jerking off in class.
Under the pants?
Like under his pants, and like we saw it, and like and I was looking at my guy D, and he was looking at me, and he was just like, someone should throw a book at that motherfucker. And I'm just like, I'll do it, and I chucked the book at the guy.
Then he came.
Yeah, he came. He's like, you know. But I'm like, Matthew, don't be jerking off in class, bro.
Oh, fucking Matthew.
Got a detention for that. And for some reason, I would finesse the principal to not call my parents because they would like fucking. My parents would freak out if they knew that story.
You threw a book at a kid jerking off?
Yeah, I threw a book at a kid jerking off. I was a victim before Louis came. You know, like I was a Louis C.K. victim.
That's actually Louis C.K. now, right?
Dude,
Matthew,
I was Louis
C.K.
I was Louis, bro.
Oh. What? Did any other crazy shit happen in these classes? Because my friend was in a pregnant class. Because he was in a class. He was in the gym class with all the pregnant chicks. Because he fell off his bike. We always say that he was reaching for a French fry. He fell off his bike, and then he like cracked his head, and they had to flight for life him to Milwaukee and like sew him up or something like that. You know what I mean? Concussion, whatever. But he survived. But because of that, he couldn't take regular gym, so he's with all the pregnant chicks. And this was Waukegan High School, so there's a lot of pregnant chicks in that class. You know what I mean? Like fucking half the school. So he was, you know, they would just walk around the gym and do things. He had a hat pass too. He had a hat. You know what I mean? So he could wear a hat in school. Can you wear hats? We couldn't wear hats in school. I don't know. Suburb schools can you wear hats? We get yelled at by the security guard.
No, not. I mean, we could.
We couldn't. I don't want. Well, because probably
this is
gangs or
Naperville,
something.
bro.
Yeah, no.
We can do whatever the fuck you want.
It's strictly a dress code. So then I was like, but I remember he walking around with a hat, and the security guard. And he had his hat. I got a fucking hat pass. You know what I mean? I got a fucking hat pass. What happened at Will's Three Dead Moose you hated so much?
Oh no, I just didn't like that mic. I never liked going to that mic. I don't know why I said fuck the.
Oh, okay.
I was talking shit. I mean, it's an alright mic. I just feel like that was always like a Sunday mic, and I feel like every time like I would go to like a Sunday mic, I would just like be like fuck my life, you know. I'm like I gotta do something better than going to Three Dead Moose.
I went to Three Dead Moose once, and they didn't have a mic, and I didn't realize it, or because they had a Packers game. Do you ever go there when there was a Packers game?
Yeah,
because it's a Packers bar. I didn't realize. I
don't know. Like nothing against the comics or whoever hosted it. I felt like it was like always a weird vibe in that bar. Like I don't know why. Like it was always just like the fucking like, you know, moose head looking at me. Like I don't like moose heads. You know.
The first time I did the mic, that's the first mic I ever did, actually, the Three Dead Moose. But then, I don't know, but I did enjoy that. I went there, there was a Packers game, and it was lit. I don't have any allegiance to Bears or Packers or anything. I'm flip-floppy when it comes to sports teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck.
I could care. We're all in the Midwest.
But you know what I mean? It's fun. The Bears aren't a good team. But I remember I was there, and it was fun. I was like, I wanted to go back, but I never did. But it was fun. I had a deep-fried pickle. And I've never had a deep-fried pickle. I don't know. I was pretty cool, and I felt like, oh, man. I don't know. I liked it. I had fun.
Dude, my first 2 mics I came in the city was the Power Hour mic and the Drop. Like, those were the first 2.
Yeah. If people don't know, the Power Hour, you go there. It's on a Friday, Gallery Cabaret, and there's a drinker, right? There's a guy drinking next to you. There's somebody on the piano. So that's that's a Chicago staple. And then the other one, what's the other one you mentioned? I already zoned out.
The Drop.
The Drop is where people go to quit comedy.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, trigger warning, right? Ed Towns. I forgot the what's
Radescu.
Yeah, Radescu.
And then there was a white skinny dude before them, right? I forgot his name.
John Doler.
Who went to No. Is he still around?
I don't know.
He messaged me, say, "Hey, you want to go drive to Michigan to do a show?" And I was like, I don't know. He wanted to do the podcast a few times, and you know what I mean? I have a knife, so if you try to stab me, I can stab him back. But I don't want to get into a fucking knife fight with anybody.
I wouldn't go anywhere, John Doler.
No. No, I might have. Yeah, John Doe was an interesting guy, Look, man, what people don't understand about doing comedy is before you start getting to the shows, is you're in a room and a mic, at an open mic with some people are trying to do comedy, some people are just trying to hang out, and some people who are homeless or actually mentally ill. There's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of that, you know what I mean?
Look, I like the guy. I actually really like John Doder, but it's just like sometimes you don't know where John is at, know? like he's a cool guy, when he is not, when he's stable,
Does he take medication?
I don't know. I don't know that guy's life.
No, because I've called and he messaged me. He was like, "Yeah, I'm doing this show," and then I talked to somebody about the show, and he was like, "I don't know, maybe don't do it." When like somebody books you for a show and you get there, and like this isn't like an actual show. This is chaos at a bar. And
I remember he was doing he had a show set up.
Yeah,
and I was a little hesitant, and then I saw Ravon dropped out, and I'm like, all right, if Ravon dropped out.
That's the reddest flag there is.
I'm like, that's a red flag. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not. No, there's no way. If Ravon's not going, I'm not going because that guy will fucking. If Ravon will perform in a subway, he'll do it. It's like what is making Ravon not go to do this show? Ravon's one of the funniest dudes I know. So.
Episode 22, Lobo Den Podcast. Around 43 seconds in, something might happen. We recorded that in front of the Gallery Cabaret, which is fucking probably on a Friday. That mic, Power Hour, right? So we recorded in front of my old Honda Fit. Rest in peace. I got crashed, and but yeah, 40-something seconds in, Ravon opens up more because he might have taken a substance in that car.
Allegedly.
Yeah. On the air. It's not on video, so we don't know.
Dude, I remember allegedly you gave me a substance one time, and that was probably one of the best substances I've had in the world, dude. That was the best.
I'll tell you why. Because I had a friend, right, who did those substances and had them, but he would always test them out. You know what I mean? So he had a Casio watch, right, and he would take the substance, 0.09 of the substance, and then start the watch and then wait and just see the reaction. And then based on the cost and based on the quality, then he would price it out in an Excel sheet he had. So it was always, and he was very honest with people, like, this substance is this bar, this one, blah, blah, blah. So,
dude,
but sometimes, you get, but it's, it's up and down.
I don't know what you gave me, but
it's up and down, man. Or that person gave you. Or allegedly.
Yeah,
whatever.
I was I think I hit the gym that one day and I did a little bit. Bam, doing I was bench pressing 350. I don't know, man, but I was fucking killing it.
That's good, right? Because a few weeks later, Tito got one that wasn't so good. But it's up and down, man, because sometimes you get shit and better or whatever, and it goes down. And
I'm just so happy I don't mess with that shit anymore. Those type of drugs, those are bad, man.
And then what I don't like about those drugs is the people you start getting around. It's like...
Yeah.
It starts getting shady real quick, you know what I mean? Because somebody who smokes weed, they smoke weed, but somebody who wants to get fucking high and want their shit. You know what I mean? They ain't.
Yeah, but like it's like if you're a murderer and you smoke weed, I would never know that you killed people. But like if you
Do murderers smoke? Are there any murderers that smoke weed?
I don't know.
Can you look up weed?
What I'm saying is
killers?
like it's just like when you're like the one thing I realized with that type of drug is like you really like it like that drug really is the people like that like it really brings out a rough crowd.
Yeah.
Like with like I don't know. I just like potheads.
Yeah. So don't do cocaine.
Yeah,
do you have any?
Don't do blow, kids.
Don't do blow, kids. Do you have any? You got any plugs? We're closing up here. Plugs. Last days you want to say anything?
Follow my TikTok, Johnny Olive Oil, and follow my Instagram, Johnny Olive Oil.
Instagram, Johnny Olive Oil. TikTok, Johnny Olive Oil. You guys still doing shows or parks or? Summer's coming back.
It's 20 degrees out. What do you think?
It's too cold,
in the
man.
summer.
I don't know. I don't know. I got to talk to Greg about that. He
All right.
kind of took over like the whole production part with that. So I'll ask him, and then we'll we'll
rendezvous. All right, Mr. Webb, you have anything to plug, promote?
Stand Up is back,
Woo!
motherfucker!
Yeah.
March 3rd at Zanies Comedy Club, and then every Thursday forever after that at 9 p.m. The first show back, we're going to have Erica Nicole Clark headlining, featuring Mo Good, Blake Burkhart, Mike Myers, Mike Robinson, and Eric Emerson. Tickets are only $10. Go to standup.net and get tickets. Please follow Zanies Digital at Zanies Digital on Instagram and TikTok. And go to youtube.com/Zanies and throw us a like and subscribe. Watch our shit. It's all Chicago people. Couple of out-of-towners here and there, but we want to blow up the Chicago comedy community and show the world what fucking time it is here. So that's all I got.
And I'll be there as an audience member supporting
Let's go.
Chicago.
Not on acid. Not on acid.
Not on acid or
Not on acid
Hell
or
yeah.
mushrooms or those other the drink that's white and powdery.
clean and serene.
Clean and
That's
sober.
right, baby.
Follow the Lobo Den Podcast on Instagram, Lobo Den Podcast, and I guess on Twitter, TikTok, the Lobo Den Podcast. Subscribe, tell a friend, follow the Patreon, support the podcast because everything costs money, so please support.
Yes.
And then, you know what? Let's try this. Why don't you buy some Brain Force from InfoWars?
Okay.
Have sex on it and tell me your experiences on Brain Force with a little bit of vodka. Plug a little bit of vodka with a tampon. Not too much because it'll kill you. Okay, Lobo Den.
Lobo Den